Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahrukh Mujumdar welcoming you all to the English news from Btv Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus to leave for Switzerland on 4-day official visit to attend the annual meeting of World Economic Forum beginning tomorrow. Election Commission wants to ensure people's voting rights utilizing scopes created through August 5th revolution, says Chief Election Commissioner. British lawmakers group withdraws controversial report on Bangladesh after complaints of biasness in favor of ousted government of Sheikh Hasina. BGB from now on to be able to use tear gas and sound grenades alongside lethal weapons at border areas, says Home Advisor. President-elect Donald Trump to take oath as 47th President of United States. And Bangladesh women's under-19 cricket team suffered 2-wicket defeat in T20 World Cup in Kuala Lumpur. Those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus is set to leave for Davos, Switzerland on a 4-day official visit to attend the annual meeting of the World Economic Forum, WEF, beginning on January 21st. Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary Abul Kalam Azad Mujumdar told a press briefing the Chief Advisor will leave Bangladesh at 1 a.m. on Tuesday, January 21st, and he will return home on January 25th. During visit, the Chief Advisor is expected to hold bilateral talks with the chiefs of different countries and organizations. Chief Advisor's Deputy Press Secretary said a separate dialogue on Bangladesh will be held at the World Economic Forum, where global business leaders and CEOs of various international organizations will join. The program to update voter list has begun today. Chief Election Commissioner CEC AMM Nasiruddin inaugurated it as chief guest in Savar. At the inaugural program, the CEC said the Commission wants to ensure voting rights of people by utilizing the scopes created through the revolution on August 5th. He also said he doesn't want any farce in the name of election. Rights of people will be established when they can vote for their chosen candidates without any fear, he added. At the program, other election commissioners stressed the need for transparency in collecting information for updating the voter list. Later, the Chief Election Commissioner formally inaugurated the activities for updating the voter list, which will continue till February 3rd. A group of British lawmakers has withdrawn a controversial report on Bangladesh after complaints that it was biased in favor of the ousted government of Sheikh Hasina. The all-party parliamentary group APPG on the Commonwealth issued a report on Bangladesh last November, criticizing the interim government in Bangladesh, but was accused of significant inaccuracies. The report also claimed that the radical Islamists have been empowered in the country. Officials clarified that the document is under review after Labour MP Rupa Haq raised concerns in the House of Commons. Hasina's niece Tulip Siddique resigned as city minister over her previously undisclosed links to her aunt's party, triggering accusations that the Awami League was interfering in British politics. The report, titled "The Ongoing Situation in Bangladesh," was released to the press in November, 3 months after Hasina was deposed by a student-led movement against her authoritarian rule. The APPG report said it received evidence that murder charges are being slapped on former ministers, Awami League leaders, lawmakers, former judges, scholars, lawyers, and journalists by the interim government in such numbers that raise questions about their credibility. The report read, relying mainly on evidence from the Rights and Risk Analysis Group, a New Delhi-based think tank. The report raised serious concerns about human rights and the rule of law under the interim government. On 4th of December, Foreign Advisor Tauhid Hussain urged the British High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Sarah Cook, to provide accurate information to the UK government about the minority situation in Bangladesh and the July-August student movement. The advisor pointed out the absence of key facts in the APPG report. He also highlighted the fact that many students were shot and killed on the streets before 5th of August. The BGB from now on will be able to use tear gas and sound grenades alongside lethal weapons at border areas of the country. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Jahangir Alam Chaudhary disclosed the decision taken at the Advisory Council meeting on law and order at the Home Ministry today. Members of the Advisory Council and senior officials of the ministry were present at the meeting. The Home Advisor said the border remains calm now. Jahangir Alam Chaudhary said as many as 33,648 foreigners are living in Bangladesh illegally. They have to be legalized by January 31st by submitting necessary papers, otherwise measures will be taken against them, he added. Regional Information Office organized a view exchange meeting under the theme Let's Change the Country, Let's Change the World on the occasion of Youth Festival 2025 in Chattogram. The meeting, titled Bangladesh of the Future in the Mind of Youth, was held at City Corporation College Auditorium at City's Dewan Hut today. Regional Information Office Deputy Chief Information Officer Saeed Hassan presided over, while City Corporation Chief Executive Officer Sheikh Muhammad Tawhidul Islam, College Principal Kamrun Nahar Begum, District Information Office Director Mir Hussain Ahsanul Kabir and student representatives addressed the occasion. The speaker said the youth of today are the craftsmen of building tomorrow's Bangladesh. They changed the context of Bangladesh on August 5th. They called upon the youths to build themselves as worthy citizens in building a merit-based new Bangladesh in the future. Now, international news. President-elect Donald Trump will move back into the White House later today after he officially becomes the 47th President of the United States. He previously served as the 45th president between 2017 and 2021. Inauguration Day will include a formal swearing-in ceremony as well as musical performances and a number of formal balls. But freezing temperatures this year will move events indoors, with Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance set to take the oath of office in the United States Capitol Rotunda building. The weather has also derailed the traditional inaugural parade. It's the formal ceremony that marks the end of one president's time in office and the start of the successor's administration. It is the most high-profile part of the transition of power between government leaders in Washington, D.C. Vance will also take an oath of office before he formally assumes the position of vice president. President-elect Donald Trump said he plans to sign a record number of executive orders after being sworn in as president, beginning right after he delivers his inaugural address. Trump told NBC News the number of orders he will sign after taking office on Monday had not yet been determined, but the figure will be record-setting. The president-elect is expected to sign orders undoing many of the policies advanced during President Joe Biden's outgoing administration. The Civil Defense Agency of Gaza said the grisly search for an estimated 10,000 bodies buried under the concrete wasteland in Gaza is now underway, with at least 62 of the dead recovered after the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas halted fighting and entered second day. Celebrations were seen in the occupied West Bank as 90 Palestinian prisoners have been freed from Israeli jails as part of a ceasefire deal. Palestinians in Gaza are returning to their ruined homes and awaiting the delivery of much-needed food and medical assistance after Israeli forces finally ended their 15-month-long bombardment of the besieged territory. An estimated 608 trucks will enter Gaza each day as part of the first phase of the ceasefire. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 47,035 Palestinians and wounded 111,091 since October 7, 2023. At least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks that day, and 251 were taken hostage. More than 80 people have been killed in just 3 days in northeast Colombia following failed attempts to hold peace talks with the rebel National Liberation Army, ELN. The ELN launched an assault in the northeastern Catatumbo region last Thursday on a rival group comprised of ex-members of the now-defunct FARC armed group who kept fighting after it disarmed in 2017. Governor William Villamizar of the Norte de Santander department said civilians were trapped in the middle and by Sunday, and it was estimated that more than 80 people have lost their lives. A report released by a government ombudsman agency late on Saturday read among the victims are community leader Carmelo Guerrero and 7 people who sought to sign a peace deal. Thousands of people are fleeing the area, with some hiding in the nearby lush mountains or seeking help at government shelters. A Myanmar junta airstrike has killed 28 people, including 9 children, and wounded 25 at a temporary detention area in western Rakhine State. An ethnic minority armed group, the Arakan Army AA, is engaged in a fierce fight with the military for control of Rakhine, where it has seized swaths of territory in the past year, all but cutting off the state capital, Sittwe. The Rakhine conflict is one element of the bloody chaos that has engulfed Myanmar since the military ousted Aung San Suu Kyi's civilian government in a 2021 coup, sparking a widespread armed uprising. The Arakan Army posted on its Telegram channel that a military jet had bombed a detention area in Mrok-U Township on Saturday, where family members of junta soldiers were being held by the group. The group said the area was bombed as it was preparing a plan to release them. Photos of the aftermath posted on the Telegram channel showed a long row of bodies laid on the floor in a grassy area. Covered in white sheets, a number of people were seen grieving close by. Now news on sports. More from cricket, BPL. Dhaka Capitals picked up their second victory with a 6-run win over Sylhet Strikers in Bangladesh Premier League at Chattogram Johor Ahmed Chaudhary Stadium today. Liton Dash's blistering 48-ball 70 and Pereira's blasting 17-ball 37 were key in steering the side to a hefty 196 for 6. Tipu Sultan and Samiullah Shinwari picked up 2 wickets apiece for Sylhet. In reply, Sylhet lost George Munsi and Jakir Hassan cheaply to be reduced to 32 for 2, but Ronnie and Aaron Jones shared 80 runs for the 3rd wicket to keep the side in the hunting. Pereira broke the partnership by removing Jones for 36, and in his next over, he got the better of Ronnie, who belted 9 fours in his 44-ball 68. Jakir struck 13-ball 28, while Ariful, who was dismissed in the last over when 23 runs were needed for a victory, made 29 of 13. Mustafizur Rahman, who defended 23 runs in the last over, finished with 2 wickets.